Okay. All right. So that's recording now. So, okay. So just to restate for the sake of recording, we have some sample memes here. If you can ignore the Dr. Wally, Florence Dr. Wally. Basically, it's just graphics with catchy headlines, some text stating the idea, and then some actionable item, whether it's make a post, share this post, go try this next time. So that's kind of a quick restate. So I'm just curious if you guys prefer Family College over Dr. Wally, or if you agree with the research and think Dr. Wally is better.
I don't really know the Family College very well. I haven't researched it very much.
Well, just as a domain, just as a brand.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's great. I love it. But I feel like there's a lot you can work with, even if you just focus on Dr. Wally, his stuff.
Uh,
That I mean, it's like a shotgun spray, you can go everywhere. But like,
yeah,
I feel like you can really hit the details if you just focus on Dr. Wally. There's a lot you can work with there, at least.
awesome.
But yeah, yeah, it's great. The other domain is great.
Do you have any thoughts, Emily?
Well, I'm just wondering. I know when he put that out on Facebook, I think I was one of the few that said I did like Family College.
Uh-huh.
I like it for a couple of reasons. Dr. Wally, I feel like, is more personable. People, like making that connection. But there's also kind of this renaissance right now of like the self-education, even like Brene Brown's classes that she does, and Glennon Doyle Melton has kind of her, what does she call it? Girl University or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like kind of everyone is doing these like alternative, self-education, would you call it a platform or a forum?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Is there a way to combine it like Dr. Wally with Family College? I don't know. But I like what you're saying, that with Family College, there's kind of some options there. You have some possible partnerships. So I don't know.
Okay.
I like them both.
I'm wide open. I know that it's a lot of work to build a brand, and I don't want to waste effort by trying to build two brands. So
Right.
I still think Family College is a great domain, and maybe there's a way that we can, maybe if we bring in other voices, that it could be a Family College push, and if it's just my dad's stuff, it's Dr. Wally. I don't know.
So maybe focusing with Dr. Wally first, and then as those other opportunities come up, maybe building a second.
Yeah, that feels good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I when you talk about online courses, there are all these cool plugins for learning management systems that integrate with WordPress. And there's part of me that just is itching to play with them, because they've become really robust nowadays, and it's really affordable too. So there's part of me that just wants to jump on that, just the tech geek part of me that loves that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's definitely an option. And that's one thing to keep in mind too, as we're bite-sizing all this stuff, is what are some questions that I could create from this to make it an online course, So these could be presentations of content. What would be some follow-up questions to test comprehension? So great ideas. But I think you're right. I think for now, let's focus on the Wally stuff, and let's just keep that door open for future stuff.
Cool.
Okay, let me go ahead and transition to the spreadsheet. Let's see. I guess I have to stop sharing and then share. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet of content my dad's created so far. And I've organized it by type of content. So there's books, there's everything he did for extension could be kind of pamphlets and booklets. You know, these are really graphic rich, and so I love that about these. Let's see. And then we have some audio as well. One of the more polished pieces is this Christ-centered marriage. That's a really great piece, and it's already LDS. We have a whole email series called Navigating Life's Journey. That's set up through the University of Arkansas, and it's okay. It wasn't written with this philosophy of, you know, let's get people to just get a quick idea and take action. It was more just idea of let's break stuff into small pieces. So it's so in this spreadsheet I have columns. You know, is it already targeted at the LDS audience, or is it kind of general Christian? And is it already bite-sized? So as you can tell, we have a lot of good content here that's already targeted to LDS, but not much of it is bite-sized. So anyways, just keep going down here. We also have some videos. He did a whole TV series called Guiding Children Successfully. He did a fireside here in Provo on marriage and family. That is LDS, obviously. We have some websites. When he worked for the University of Arkansas, that's AR Families. He did a blog for a little while called Misery or Happiness. And then we have his Facebook. He continues to write articles for Meridian Magazine. And then we've brainstormed the idea of maybe doing a podcast. I think we've settled that. We still need to do some work on social media. So I've started adding links to all of this content here. So I just put PDFs of the books that are over here. And I put links to the other stuff where it currently resides. So one project is whenever we do bite size the content, I'd like to link out to the full content. So so we can host any of this stuff at Dr. Wally. So I think it makes sense to kind of try to start pulling it together at Dr. Wally so that people aren't having to go to 20 different websites. Mm-hmm. So that's one part of the project too. But let's just, for now, I think the main project is taking a book and going through and looking for nuggets, and then making the social media stuff and start posting that. So let me go ahead and pull up one of the books, and we'll just kind of go through this together. What questions do you guys have so far before I jump into that?
Do you want this to be, focused on or geared towards LDS demographic? Or are you thinking use LDS terminology and use that kind of doctrine, but then it's kind of open to anyone that reads it?
That's a great question. We want to be able to talk about pure doctrine openly.
Yeah.
And so if that attracts non-LDS people, we're totally fine with that. but we're not going to make any apologies.
Cool.
So so obviously the people who will be most attracted to this will be the LDS audience.
Mm-hmm.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah.
So by its very nature, we're definitely going to pick up mostly LDS folks, but I'm not planning on doing any kind of targeted pay-per-click or social media just for LDS.
Okay.
So it'd
Cool.
be interesting to know on his Facebook page what the breakdown is, but I'd guess that 90% is LDS.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I need to open that file first. Well, let me just share the. So right now, this is the Dropbox folder called Family College. So I'll share this with you guys when we're done. I'll just make kind of a garage for stuff that doesn't really concern us. So I think all of this stuff can go in there. Okay, so right now I've got a folder called Books that has the PDFs in it. And then I've got a folder called Audio that's got that. And then pretty much everything else you would need is just linked out to you from the Google spreadsheet. Okay. So let me go ahead and open up. We'll just do Drawing Heaven, and then I'll share that. Oh, hang on. I love how Zoom likes to move your navigation all over the place. Okay, so here's the PDF of Drawing Heaven in Your Marriage. And okay, so here's the table of contents. So let's just take chapter 7, just for the sake of experimenting. And, let's say you take 15, 20 minutes, you scan through and look for some of the key nuggets. So back up, before this, probably what we ought to do is flesh out this spreadsheet and break it down by chapter maybe of the books. And then if Alec wants to jump in and work on this chapter, then maybe we make a column for chapter 7 of this book, and maybe Alec puts his name in there, so that we're starting to mark the territory that we've covered. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say Alec jumps in, you're reading through, and we see that here's a story about Jesus dining at the house of Simon the Pharisee. So maybe this is a little bit extreme, but maybe we find some classical painting of that scene, and we ask some question like, how do you feel about sinners? And maybe it's a view of the Savior looking down and her looking up, So it's kind of playing off this idea that, charity is the response that Christ wants us to develop. But, is that our first reaction when we see somebody, just one idea, and then maybe we pull in some of this content about how Christ reaches us despite our imperfections, and his ministry is ultimately an invitation for us to respond to everyone and everything with charity. And then we give them some homework. Next time you have that gut reaction to judge someone, choose love, choose to see as he saw, and then some invitation to post or share, or maybe share an experience of when maybe they first saw a situation and they came to it first with judgment, and then they shifted that to charity or something like that. So does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not trying to capture the whole chapter, and maybe each chapter deserves 5 or more memes. Am I using that word meme right? When I hear meme, I think of a graphic with words on it.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Okay. So the idea is let's snag a piece of this, and create a memorable graphic and message, and then get it ready to post on social media. So any questions so far?
So you would like us to mark any ideas that we have? I mean, just maybe like underline it or something like that, and it'll just show up on the...
That's a good idea. Yeah, we could actually just use the book to say, hey, we've already pulled from this. So, unless it's a really powerful idea, maybe the next person moves on and works with something else. That's a great idea. Do you guys know how to...
We can like highlight in the Dropbox document, or...
Yeah, so I'm going to just to give kind of an overview of Dropbox. Dropbox is a great collaboration tool if you have it installed as an app on your computer.
Oh.
So
That's what I was gonna say. I haven't downloaded it on my computer yet. I have it on my phone.
Yeah. So that's when it becomes really powerful, because
cool.
Basically you can designate a folder on your computer where you share folders. And if I make a change to anything in that folder, and you have Dropbox installed on your computer, it's going to update that file on your computer.
Nice, like Google Docs in that way.
Yeah. Yep. The nice thing is it can be any kind of file. It can be InDesign, Illustrator, or whatever.
Very cool.
So if you guys come in and let's say you decide to work on this section, then you might highlight it and maybe even make a comment, that Alec is working on this.
Cool.
I don't know how to, there we go. So now we've got a comment, we've got a highlight. So the next person that comes along, if I save this file, then they're going to see this and know, oh, okay, maybe I'll skip over that and do something else.
Cool.
That's a great idea, Alec. Thank you.
Cool.
So yeah, any other questions or thoughts? That's a great one. Okay, so
I actually do have one.
Yeah.
So I had actually been looking at the Meridian articles too. I know several of those articles he's pulled from his books. So that might be the only like crossover. If there was an article that someone's working on and it happens to be, I guess we just probably should be aware of in the Meridian articles. He usually says at the top, right, this is an excerpt from Drawing Marriage, Heaven into Your Marriage.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I guess it's up to you. So like let's take another example: Modern Myths and Latter-day Truths. We made that book out of Meridian articles. So we kind of picked 40 or so of his top articles and made that into a book. So if you go to the website, you have the benefit of maybe seeing comments that people have posted.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll be able to tell which ones are more popular.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess the only downside is you'd have to make more columns in the spreadsheet if you do choose to use that content. But that's fine. I mean, this is a spreadsheet. We can have as many rows and columns as we want.
So if we're focusing mainly on the books, there's probably only some articles that information isn't also included in a book. Is that correct? Would you say?
So Modern Myths, every chapter of that book is on Meridian Magazine, unless they've gone through and deleted the archives.
Okay. So there might be only certain articles. How do I even say this? Like there's some articles on Meridian that aren't in a book, but not very many. Should we just focus on the books?
Actually, he's probably written. I mean, he's been writing the myths column for like 10 years now.
Right. Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of content there that's not in a book.
It isn't in a book. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a really good point. Don't think that once we've finished the books out that we're all out of content, because I'm guessing he's done over 100 articles and there might only be 40 in the book.
Okay, cool.
As far as Drawing Heaven, I don't know how much of that he's put on Meridian. You might have to do a little bit of digging to find that out. Okay. So, Alec, it seems like you're pretty comfortable with graphics. Your website is beautiful. Do you have some experience with design?
Not much. I just through a lot of trial and error, I went on Wix and I created my own website, and it took months and months just kind of changing it and tweaking it. But
okay. So
no personal experience really, other than just trial and error.
All right. Well, my background is in graphic design.
Cool.
So I like to use Adobe Illustrator, but you don't have to have Illustrator to build these out. I know Emily's been experimenting with a few different tools. Can you remind me what they are, Emily?
There's an app called Word Swag that it'll even give you backgrounds, and you can just, plug in the text, or you can add your own photo just from your phone. So it's a pretty user-friendly, app. It makes it pretty easy.
Yeah. Word Swag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, funny.
Yeah.
And then there's just like another photo editing one called Color Story that I don't know as much about, but I've heard good things. So I don't know. That's another one to maybe check out.
Cool.
And then Adobe has a free tool. What was that one called, Emily? Do you remember?
The Adobe one?
It seems like...
it was an app. Was that the one that I used? Did you tell me about Spark Page? Is that Spark? Spark, yeah.
Oh, I've used Spark, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another one that I've kind of played with a little bit.
So that's an option. I have an app called Rihanna Designs, which if you want to get into more graphic elements than just words on a picture,
yeah,
it's really great.
Rihanna, like the singer, or?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. So we also have a subscription to iStock.com.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
So
those are the images, right?
So yeah, so seriously like millions and millions of photos to choose from there.
Cool.
So I'm going to put that in the spreadsheet.
Sweet. Yeah,
Uh,
I've kind of exhausted some of the good, the free images that are out there, and then you kind of hit a wall. You're like, okay, I guess I have to pay for a subscription.
No, please use that. I think we get like 300 images a month.
Nice.
With that subscription, so we never hit that limit, and I hate it because feel like we're flushing money every month.
Okay, I will make use of that.
Awesome. Please do. I use Google Images a lot, just to kind of, or Pinterest to kind of get my creative juices flowing. Pinterest obviously is more attractive than Google Images, but let's see. So I guess the last thing that I want to talk about is we have an app that we're building called Zion Builder. And have I talked to you about that, Emily?
Yeah. I mean, I think I know just the tip of the iceberg, but I'm excited about it. Sounds awesome.
Okay. So let me just hit on that real quick. And let me get the file open first. Is it that one? Sign Builder. Maybe this is a multi-page. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So let me share the right screen. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so Zion Builder, the idea is let's make it easier for people to build Zion in themselves, in their ward, in their family, and in their world. So just to give some examples, it's basically a CRM with texting capabilities. So let's say Sam shares a Book of Mormon with Matt. He puts Matt into his Zion Builder app, and then the next day, and when he puts him in, the app asks him, is this someone in your family or your ward, or is it a non-member? And then, so he'll choose non-member, and then it'll say Book of Mormon track. And so the next day, the app might prompt him to send an email that says, hey, here's just a little overview of what the Book of Mormon is. Here's a little video that gives you a quick overview. And then maybe the next day says, hey, I really recommend that you read these passages. And then maybe the next day it sends a push notification saying, now's a good time to call Matt and see what his experience was with his reading. So that's one example. Another example, let's say Sam has a friend, Tom, who struggles with depression. And Sam doesn't have a clue what to say or how to really serve this person, but he really cares about them. So he can put them into the app, and maybe it just puts them in as member, and they're struggling with depression is the track. So it might prompt him to send, some emails or texts that push them to some of the great videos that the church has produced, or some articles, or some just uplifting messages, right? I honestly believe that the number one reason that suicide and divorce and other numbers are not going down is because people just don't know what to say. They don't know how to help. And so this is one example. The next one has to do with marriage. So let's say Sam's buddy Paul just got married, and so Sam can put him into this track that gives Paul a free date idea every Friday afternoon, and it prompts him to send out a text. It's unique every week, so it can support their marriage, and it's just and people could opt into these themselves as well. So it's not just push; it's also opt in. So those are just a few examples of how this app would work. Any questions about it so far?
So it's going to be notifying Sam of all these resources, or the people that he's trying to reach out to?
So uh, it will invite Matt, at certain times to send an email. So it basically, the app, it populates an email with content, and then Sam could customize it if he wants, or he can just hit the send button.
Okay.
And same thing with text. So
yeah,
it has all these tracks that are written out, and then it just prompts you at the right time to send out text, send out emails. And so it just, it gives you a framework of a conversation that would be useful.
cool.
So the cool thing is that, the friend doesn't need to have the app. All they're doing is getting texts, getting emails. But since you have the app, if you're Sam, then you're getting the content all ready to go and just hitting send button when it prompts you. And you're getting push notifications when it's a good time to follow up.
Is this so focused solely on other people? Like, for example, like, will it notify you, asking you like how you're doing, or if you've read the Book of Mormon that day, or anything like that? Or is it focused on outward reach?
So it would have. So far, these examples are just how to help other people. It would also have ways for you to opt in to build Zion in you. Let's say you want to memorize a verse a week. You could opt in to get these cool ponderized, visually rich scriptures once a week that get pushed to your phone or to your email.
Yeah.
You could also opt in to get a conference talk every week or every day. Like whatever you choose, whatever we build, we can have that be tracks.
Cool.
So, and those could come through the app, or they could come through other delivery formats.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is going to be a free app. The nice thing is there's no operating expenses other than just IT. There's no. It wouldn't be like we don't have to give people a phone number. It just uses their native texting and email. So it'll be a free download and free to use app.
Andy, are you building this app, or are you utilizing I'm super curious about how an app gets built.
So this one, we actually built one like this for our doTERRA business. But that one, it was like on steroids. It actually gives you a new business line, and it's fully automated. So like if I meet somebody and I give them a sample of peppermint, I put them in the app, and then my phone automatically sends the texts and emails to follow up on that sample.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So that's how this got started. Was we partnered with a company called Bite Size.
Bite Size?
Yeah, that's the name of the company.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome people. Brett Harward is the guy who started that company, and just a really good friend of ours. So I said, hey, what if we built this for this purpose? And he's like, yeah, totally happy to do it. So we'll just pay for some programmers and
awesome.
Get it live. We actually have a beta already built so that we can be testing, and
love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So any of the content that we bite-size with my dad's, we could also keep this app in mind. If my dad has an article on divorce or communication or how to parent your children, we also want to write out these tracks for to support families and marriage as well. So just keep that in mind, and I'll share a spreadsheet with you. It's actually a Google form that you can fill out, to write some of these tracks. So it's formatted like, here's what the recipient receives, and here's what the app user receives, and you can basically write whatever you want, but the form is it's set up to receive whatever you want to fill it in with. So you don't have to be a programmer or even a data geek to start writing this content.
You just plug in some of these nuggets that we're already working on. Cool.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay, so one more thing. We have, I've posted this project of bite-sizing my dad's articles on on justserve.org, which is the church's just a kind of a volunteerism website. And we've had about 10 people respond that they want to help out with this. So I'd love for you guys to help us really get some momentum going by managing these volunteers. So so once we have this recording done, I'm going to post it on one of our websites, and maybe I'm trying to think maybe you guys can help me think through what the best way is to use these volunteers and kind of get a grassroots movement going here. As I'm just thinking, we don't want to have to spend an hour training each person every time we have a new volunteer. So we can use this recording. We also don't want to have to, it's a little bit risky with Dropbox, because if somebody deletes a file, it gets deleted for everybody. You know what I mean? So maybe what we do with those folks is we just have them just work on the articles, not on the books.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to share files with them.
Yeah. Andy, that's kind of what just with the 2 or 3 that I've contacted, that's what I've said. I've just said, hey, here's the link to Wally's Meridian articles. Let me know which ones you want to be working on. So that was where my question came from. Okay, some of the articles that they're working on may be in the books. So we just need to be aware of where that crossover is, so we're not duplicating. But it's been working so far.
So maybe what you could do is just use the spreadsheet to assign articles.
Okay.
So Emily, do you want to take on that task of starting to flesh out who's working on what in that spreadsheet?
Sure.
Feel free to take whatever liberties you want. Like if you want to start a new sheet just for like Meridian Magazine articles, that might help us keep that main spreadsheet less cluttered.
Okay, so we're talking the spreadsheet. Sorry, so
let me just I'll just kind of do it in real time. What I'm thinking. So if I share, here we go. Okay, so like right now, everything is just on this one sheet, right?
Yep.
So maybe we start one that's LDS Mag, right?
Yep.
And so let's say I think you go to columnists and then Wally. Here we go. So let's just take the very first one there. So the Lord's individualized plan for you. So we just take the title and a link. Oh man. Here one of the formats. And then maybe we add what should we call ourselves? The editor, who's making the meme, and then maybe we have like the stage that they're in. So are they reading, making the graphic, writing the text that goes with it, and then posting it. It seems like maybe that's not their job to post it. Maybe we just give you guys the logins to all the social media and have you guys do the posting and just let them do these parts.
Cool.
So how does that sound? Just kind of going through and just cataloging each of these into that spreadsheet. And then, when they have some volunteer time, they can just come in, they can grab an article, and they can just go to work.
I like it.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's a nice little flow chart.
Cool.
My brain works well like that. It's like, okay, here's the system.
Yeah. So I guess we probably need a similar sheet. Well, maybe we don't worry about videos and audio for now. We just focus on books and articles. How's that feel?
Yeah, there's so much material there.
Yeah, and we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
All this stuff right here.
Yeah.
There's some really great stuff. Like Getting Our Hearts Right.
Mm-hmm.
This program right here is awesome. We could probably create a couple dozen just from these three
Totally.
things. So, so there's work to do. Awesome. So, one thing we could do is we could turn this page into a Google form so that volunteers, I'm not too worried about the volunteers messing this up. I'm just wondering, if we had a web page where they could go to and they just, they maybe just choose an article from the drop down, and then I don't know, a good way to kind of keep updating where they are. You know what I mean? As they move from one to the next. I don't know, a good way to do that.
You don't think just a Google Doc, inviting them?
It just means you have to, it's not that many steps. It just means you have to share the Google Doc each time you onboard a new volunteer. But that's no big deal. That's a few clicks. Okay, awesome. Fantastic. By the way, just to give you a little update, Emily, on my homework from last time, I did take the theme from Misery or Happiness, and I applied it to drwally.com.
Oh, cool.
So we had a really old, ugly theme at drwally.org, and it was just really clunky. And so anyways, I've set up drwally.com on WordPress. I'll put the login here in the Google Doc.
Cool.
And then I'll also put the social media logins. Tell me, you guys, what you think in terms of which platforms to use. Right now, we have the biggest following on my dad's Facebook. page. We don't do anything on Twitter yet, and we don't have a YouTube.
But you have an Instagram now.
Did you set that up?
I did, and you actually can connect Instagram and Facebook. So if you post something on Instagram, you can just switch the toggle, and it will automatically post to Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
No extra steps. So yeah.
That's awesome.
So the Instagram is just Dr. Wally.
Yeah, if you do a search for Dr. Wally Goddard. Unfortunately, Dr. Wally was taken. So we had to do Dr. Wally Goddard.
Cool.
So actually, so what do you guys think about Twitter?
My understanding is that Twitter is used mostly by, I don't know, millennials. Like there are a lot of youth on Twitter that love it, and I think it can make an impact with them as well. I mean, I don't think it would be too difficult just to add, even just post a link to a Twitter.
Okay.
If it reaches more people, then I think it's worth it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. But on Instagram, you can set it up so it will automatically post to Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know about Flickr and Tumblr. I don't know if we'd ever want to do those, but it can automatically post. Obviously, Twitter is only how many characters. I don't even use it, so I don't really know. But it would have to be a little shorter. But anyway, maybe just a link.
Awesome. So you're saying, Alec, maybe on YouTube or Twitter, they used to have a limit on characters. Is that gone now?
No, they still have a limit.
Yeah.
I was thinking just link it to, or maybe just have like the title or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put the login to Dr. Wally in here. Maybe it's easier just to make you guys admins of the Facebook page rather than make you log out and log back in.
Yeah, and on Instagram, again, this is what I know best. I don't know any of the others, but like I can have multiple accounts. So I have Dr. Wally Goddard for Instagram, and I also have my personal account, and I can just like this little thing here in the corner, I can just choose between the different ones. So
awesome.
It's not, I don't ever have to log out. I'm always logged in, and then I can just switch which account I'm posting to.
That's great. Okay, cool. Well, do you guys have any, as far as expectations, how long do you guys think it will take to create each meme? I know this is kind of abstract right now, but you know, we want to, we're just trying to, you know, find out from our end what's reasonable to expect. And you played a little bit, Emily, on your end. What's been your experience so far?
So, I don't know. The ones that I did immediately were just ones that came to my head like right away, just because I knew from the book, you know, his books that I had already read. So like there were a few that came to mind. So those came really quick, and I created them in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
That's quick for me. I don't know. I'm not a total techie, so I'm sure
that's awesome.
It'd be faster. But I don't know if I'm having to do more digging and searching and stuff. I'm not sure. But you're talking about just like once I've found the nugget, or are you saying, okay, you have nothing created, you're going to go into the book. You're going to
start to finish.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably be a little bit longer.
So I'm kind of guessing. I'm guessing 30 minutes to an hour, maybe, for each meme.
Yeah. 45 minutes is probably a good average, I would say.
Yeah. So maybe let's just have kind of a return and report. Maybe each, I don't know, is it too much work to daily just email out the memes that have been created?
Not at all. I mean,
I think early on that'll be especially important. Just you know, let's send them out to to me, to my dad, and Lyle. Lyle's kind of just our COO, so he's just kind of chief of operations. My dad and I would like to just kind of take this first week or so, making sure that we're on track with the message, the design. I'm kind of picky about design, but I don't want you to worry about that. I just want to steer us in the right direction to get a template going. So so how does that sound? Just and we don't expect you to work every single day. I think you're both planning on like 15 hours a week. Is that right? 10 to 15?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So, you might put in longer days one day and then nothing for the next day. So whatever you put in is fine. But let's plan on having you email what you've done each day. And then, let's just stay in tight communication. And obviously we've got holidays here, so we don't expect you to work, crazy unless you want to over the holidays. Any other questions?
Sorry?
No, you go ahead, and then I'll ask.
I was just wondering if I can grab your phone number, because if I have any questions, if I can just message you.
It's 801.
Okay.
793.
793.
2056.
2056.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, sure thing.
Sorry.
Emily, you have a question?
Okay, two questions. So the first one, is there an email, like for the Instagram, it asks for a login email. Is there like a generic Dr. Wally email that we could use for the login? Like when I created the Instagram, I just used my personal email, but if lots of people are logging in, probably would be better if we had a Dr. Wally.
Yeah, I'll set up contact at drwally.com right now.
Okay, cool.
And we can use that.
Perfect.
Also, I've set up a shopping cart on drwally.com so that we can, so people can buy these resources.
Nice.
So I just need to add the products now. So now the cart's set up. So that's my homework that I'll be working on over the break.
Cool.
Let's see. Did you have another question too?
One more. So with coordinating the volunteers,
Uh-huh.
I like to have like a step list of of what I need to do. So first, with the 3 that I've contacted, I had kind of just a generic email that I sent them first with some of the links and stuff. And then when they would contact me back, I'd have to personalize and answer a few questions or whatever. But beyond that, is there anything else that we need to do for the onboarding or anything that you?
So I'm going to take this recording and I'm going to put it on a web page. And then we could have kind of a typed up version as well. Cool. Of what the project involves. I'm going to give you guys to log in to Just Serve as well, so that you can. I think they have a kind of an admin where you can see all the volunteers. Nice. And contact them there too. So so let's plan on all. So I'm going to put my homework right here. So I'm going to add the products. We're going to add the make a web page for onboarding. And then I'm also going to set up the email forwarder. So then you can just send them a link that says, hey, here's the project overview. If that looks good, then we'll share the Google Doc with you, and you can just jump in and get started.
Cool.
And maybe what we do is we move this tab first, the LDS Mag, so that's what they see first. Because most of the volunteers, they don't need to see all this, right?
Yeah.
So, so how does that sound as an onboarding process?
Sounds good. I like it.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well,
I have a question real quick. If that's all right. So right now, for example, you're talking about homework. For me, I'm going to be like researching and reading and finding like those bite-sized things you were talking about.
yeah.
We're not going to be posting these right away, right? We're just going to be emailing them
So
first to kind of get an idea,
I would love
or
to start as soon as we have, a backlog, so to speak.
yeah.
As soon as we can sustain like a daily post,
Okay.
I'd like to start posting.
Perfect. Cool.
So, if you want to start thinking about, well, it's kind of short notice to do a gratitude Thanksgiving theme, but if you want to start thinking about maybe holiday themes, Christmas,
Yeah.
then I think it'd be awesome to start right away.
Cool. Awesome.
So,
yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, and I'm just gonna just take the final product, everything that I've done, including the memes, and just send that to you, or
So
email or just a group, or
if you'll send an email, I'll put that on here too. So my dad's email is thewaypeoplework at
Cool.
Gmail. Mine is A Goddard, and then Lyle's is lswim at Junto Strategy. So,
Okay.
and then I guess you guys can add your email addresses here too, so that we can all stay in the loop of just the conversation.
Cool.
Okay, awesome.
Emily, do you want to keep working with the volunteers?
Mm-hmm.
Is that cool?
Yep.
And then obviously keep bite-sizing content.
Sounds good. So you'd probably be more comfortable if we send you, the meme or whatever, we're waiting for a green light from you. Yeah, that looks good. It works with your aesthetic and all of that. Or
Yeah, I imagine that the first few days we'll have a little bit of back and forth.
Okay.
Let's try this, maybe let's try that.
Yeah.
And then once we've got that dialed in, then I think we'll just start building a log. And I don't know where the best place is to store these, if it's in Dropbox or because I don't know how to, I guess you can put an image in a Google Doc. What do you think? What's the best way to store these? Because you've got a graphic and you've got text. I guess we could just have I guess it depends on what program you use. How about if we put the graphics in Dropbox and you just put a little text file in Dropbox with it. So maybe there's a folder for each month. No, because we're not going to. Help me out here. I'm not a good organizer.
No, that's yeah. I think the less steps we can have, the more likely we're going to be able to stay on top of it. Is the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
One thing I've done in the past with volunteers is I've just set up a web page where they can upload a graphic and post text, and that would save us one step in the onboarding process because you wouldn't have to share Dropbox with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's one option.
So you're saying you would set up a web page just for like these memes and the text, and then all of these volunteers could just.
It'd be a form where anybody could upload the photo and upload the text.
Okay.
So that's one option.
So they would really just have two. They would have that website where they're uploading the form and the text, and then this Google Doc where they're just saying where in the process they are.
Yeah.
That sounds doable, I think.
I mean, we could. You can add graphics to a Google spreadsheet. It might just be a little bit too complicated for most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep it really simple, but
Yeah.
maybe keeping it in one place is more simple than two places. Let's just try adding a graphic. So let's say they come here, here's the text, and then here they want to put in an image. Let's see, Dropbox, family, college. Oh, we don't have any memes in there yet. I'll just put a picture of my desktop in there. So let's say they upload a screenshot that's just a PNG. So let's say that's their image. So,
oh, interesting. Okay.
So you could drop pictures straight into the spreadsheet, and then you have,
and they just do their text like underneath.
All the text, yeah. Maybe that's easier. Maybe then we don't have to worry about multiple.
Yeah, it would just be one-stop shop, one place. So there would just need to be some space between like this number. I mean, I guess can you drag the cell, just make the cell deeper so that we're not putting all these pictures on top of each other?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You could do that. The other option is you don't want to make a new page for every single post. Yeah, I think this is probably a good solution. Should we just try this for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let's keep me in the loop with any questions you come across. But you guys go ahead and do you want to talk to each other about which content you want to start with? Or do you want to just start diving in and marking your name by stuff?
Sure.
Well, I mean, you've read quite a bit and I haven't read as much. So is there anything that you want, like any books that you'd like to start off with first?
I was just starting with Drawing Heaven into Your Marriage.
Cool.
That was just where I was at. But I mean, I honestly, whatever. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good starting there.
Awesome.
I'll start there. How about that? I'll be real
Sounds
definitive.
good.
I will start there, and you can choose whatever else looks good to you.
All right. Yeah, I'll just start with soft-spoken parenting. I think that's awesome.
Cool.
My title. So
I actually don't have that PDF just yet.
Okay.
I wonder if they have it on Google Books. I know you can't read the whole book that way, but
And there's the LDS version and the just Christian version, right? Or even just secular.
all right. Remind me. Oh, no ebook available.
Okay.
Let me dig around and get the missing files because we need that one, and we need Bringing Up Our Children and Light and Truth. So I'll get those and I'll shoot those over to you, or I'll let you know once I have these. But yeah, feel free to draw on anything else if you want to jump right in and get started.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. I'm really excited about this project, and the passion that my dad has for families is deep, and I think it's just a matter of taking what he's good at, which I think worked well for his generation, and tailoring it to the next generation. So I think we can do some good and build some strengthen some families.
Awesome. It's exciting.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your time, guys. I'll let you know once I have my items done, and I'll just watch for emails from you guys when you have a chance to work on it.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see ya.
Nice to meet you, Alec.
Nice meeting you.